Arun Mathai. I'm one of the engineers in the Frappe Cloud team. And this would be a small presentation as to what really is the use case of Frappe Cloud, why we are so pricey, and what benefit you can take out of it, right? So if you were to ask me what is Frappe Cloud, in one word, it is hassle-free hosting for your Frappe apps, right? How does anyone develop their software, right? You follow a software development life cycle, right? You start planning, you design, you do your development, you do your testing, you do your maintenance, and then you do your deployment, right? With Frappe Cloud, we plan to eliminate the last two portions, like completely. Now you may ask me, okay, Arun, I already have a team of 7 engineers and 3 DevOps engineers. I say with Frappe Cloud, you have 10 developers and no development DevOps team, right? That's the sort of power you want with Frappe Cloud. You should do what really matters to you, and we take care of the rest. Now, let's describe what your life would be without Frappe Cloud, right? You would go out in the market, provision a server, you update the operating system, install the OS, install the database, proxy servers, you install bench, you create a site, and then after that, if you want to do migrations, you pray to God, right? That's the thing you do. But with Frappe Cloud, you just click some buttons, right? We are spoiling you, like that's what we want to do. So we'll just have a quick look as to how that works. As you can see, you just go, click a set of apps, you select your plan, we give you a domain as well. For example, you click on terms, that's it. That's it. That's all that it took for you to get a new site. And for upgrades, you just choose what all apps you want to upgrade, and then you click a button, and then we take care of the rest. Really, I want you to imagine how much DevOps costs and how much headache you have lost because Frappe Cloud is there in the picture, right? Let's say you have built a product, you have shipped something, but there is something critical that you forgot to deploy, right? Instead of manually going into your server, SSHing into it, pulling the updates, making sure the migrate happens, you can just go and click a button on Frappe Cloud and make sure that the update was deployed seamlessly, right? Now you might ask, is that all, you know, man? Like I can do this, you know, one server at a time. But just imagine, right? You have hundreds of servers you're managing for your clients. Is it really practical for you to manage all these servers? Even if you have some sort of scripting or, you know, like an Ansible or like a Terraform playbook, it's not feasible. Now, what we bring is analytics, right? From the day you migrate your site onto Frappe Cloud, we give you a suite of analytics, like bar graphs everywhere. So this is your server level analytics. What do I mean by that? So you can see over a period of, as a function of time, right, how has your application server or your database server been performing, right? You can correlate it with other metrics which I'll show, and you can make sense. Okay, at this point of time, there was an inflection of the CPU usage. Oh, so this is where I have to optimize. Okay, I can see that during these hours of the time, this is where I'm having maximum usage. Maybe this is the time my market is most active, you know? Then this is another form of server analytics wherein you can see things at a site level, right? Then from site level, you can see your daily usage, how much was your uptime, your request, and your CPU usage, right? This is the most important and the most valuable part, frequent request. If you want to know which API endpoint is the hottest, you want to see which API endpoint of mine is the most hottest so that I can optimize it betterly. That you can see each individual request, how much time did it take, right? Let's say you're submitting something through an API request, it's taking 10 seconds. That's not good. You should have something, you know, within a second or two at large, right? Then you can see your frequent slow queries. So we do like an entire database profiling, and we show you a list of all the slow queries that are there on your site. And then you can see what are your background jobs, what's running. If you have a report which is taking too long, these are all the metrics we collect, and we give it to you from the very day you start your site on Frappe Cloud, right? Reports, right? For the more technical people, this is like a jackpot, right? You can see your request logs. Binary logs are basically your DLL changes that you make to your database, process lists, your slow queries again, and then deadlocks. That's the biggest thing. If your site is stuck for some reason and you don't know exactly what is happening, more or less it's due to a deadlock, right? And you can get a report of that on Frappe Cloud as well. So this is a feature which I love the most. It gives you a list of all the slow queries on a site, and then it recommends you which index you have to run, and with a click of a button, you can add the database index. We just eliminated the basic need of a database administrator, right? If you were on a site you would actually have to go to a DBA and be like, oh, can you please profile my database, tell me which queries are running slow. You don't need any of that. Just go, click a button, it's all for you. Now, logging, right? We log everything. We just love logging, right? So in Bench, these are your application level logs. So you wrote an application, you deployed it somewhere. There are only 3 outcomes. Either the application works, it doesn't work, or it somewhat works. But you need more insights as to what is happening. So all the logs that you get at a Bench or your application level, you get it on Frappe Cloud, right? The most is your worker log, right? What's happening on your worker level, your error logs, your socket IO, your WebSocket is real-time messaging not working. Everything can be debugged with logs. And we provide you on Frappe Cloud. One of our engineers, Suhail, he made this beautiful UI so that instead of manually scrolling through it, you can just search through this click by click, sorted by time. So you know exactly what happened when, and you can correlate. Correlation is the biggest masterpiece of Frappe Cloud. And then activity logs. Let's say you have partners managing your site, or you have multiple people within your team, and you want to know who did what, right? It should not be like the intern came, pushed something, and be like, I didn't do it, so you can now know for a fact that, he did what he did. So, yeah. Then again, access control, you can give access as to who has access to operate the site, operate the bench, create the bench, allow for server creation, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what actually makes Frappe Cloud so unique is the ability to isolate environments. And what do I mean by that, right? So this is what we call as a bench group. This is very similar to your Docker Compose file or like a template wherein you exactly tell, okay, this is the app I want, this is the version, this is the branch, and this is the commit hash. And we create an reproducible build for that given image. So you know that if that bench group, wherever you deployed it, that image, the container is always going to be the same. So the bench group is a file which behind the scenes corresponds to a container of that specification, right? So when you do migrations, we have 2 containers made from different bench groups, and then we see, okay, what is different, and then that's how we do the migrations. So let's say you're performing a migration and something fails, we can then roll back the database because we know what all changes happened, right? What all tables got updated. So all this is done through bench group, and this is the true power of Frappe Cloud. Then additional features, let's say you want to add your own custom domain, we got your backups, we perform on-site, that is the backups on your server as well. But let's say the whole world burns down, there's a nuclear war, whatever, we have offsite backup as well. Then you can schedule your updates, you can have SSH access within the bench. So if you say, you know what, I want to get my hands dirty, I want to SSH inside the container, we'll get you that as well. And then if you want to, let's say, if you're not happy with Insights, because Insights is an amazing tool, that's what you should be using, but let's say if you want to use Power BI or any other analytics tool, we'll expose the database for you, and then you can do whatever you want, right? And then we have Marketplace, which is driven by all you customers and partners and the developers. We have over 200 apps. Majority of them are open source, and the private ones have been slowly rolled out. So after a couple of months, all that you will have is open source apps. And for example, the payments integration. You don't have to build your own payments integration. You go to the marketplace, install the app, you're good to go. For example, the Navarre team built their Empire integration. So this is the power of the community, right? You share your code, you get what you want, and you can mark these apps as paid as well. So if you feel that this is something I would like to get paid for the work I've done, sure. We also have this program known as revenue sharing, wherein for all free apps based on your usage and the popularity of the app, we give you a revenue back based on how much we earn on our top line hosting. And scalability, right? This is the biggest question. Is Frappe Cloud scalable? I would say yes, we are very much scalable, right? So these are the standard offerings we give. The smallest dedicated server is 2 vCPUs, 4 GB RAM, to 16 vCPUs, 128. These are pairs for your application and database. But I would say whatever biggest virtual machine you have on Earth, bring it to us. We can run Frappe Cloud on it. Cool. So scalability is never an issue. And you might ask, okay, so what about Kubernetes? Do you guys do Kubernetes? We don't, because ERP Next use case does not really suit a Kubernetes deployment. These are monolithic services which are best deployed on a monolithic service. But do we in future see a future wherein we have auto scaling? Sure, let's see. And then we support multiple regions. So if you really care about sub-millisecond latencies, you should ideally choose a region which is close to your customer. right? So we are supporting around 11 regions, and we'll keep on adding more. And this is where the fun part is, the architecture. This is somewhat the real architecture, but we'll tone it down. So top left, you can see that is what your cluster is, right? Bottom down is Frappe Cloud. So Frappe Cloud is nothing else but another Frappe app. So that the app is called Press. So it's open source. Frappe Cloud is called Press. And we have agents which is deployed on each server. So just like a master-slave architecture, we have Press, which is the boss, and then we have an employee who sort of executes tasks for them. And this is how we have a distributed architecture. Now, each region, let's say Mumbai region, will have one proxy or many if it's required. They'll have an app server, a DB server, and auxiliary servers for your logs, monitoring, etc. And this we can scale horizontally as much as you want, correct? And then Press is responsible for everything. So Press does the orchestration. So at any given point, even if Press goes down, your sites are still up because these are running in a distributed server. Yeah. So this is exactly what's happening. There's a proxy. That's, for example, if that's Cape Town, that's your Cape Town proxy. You will have your own application server, your own database server if you are dedicated, and these are your supplementary servers. Sure. And then, yes, it's all open source, all of it. So we would in fact encourage if you, host Frappe Cloud on your own servers, have fun. So yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, that's it.